Can one control really replace all of these controllers? The short answer is yes. Stay tuned. Hey, what is up everyone, and welcome to Flash Hobbies. Been in the market for a radio for a long time. Reason being is because of this. I have so many rigs and I have so many different types of cars that I need something different for. It was kind of hard to find a system that was going to work, but I think I finally found it. I went with the Flysky GT5. So the main reason why I went with the GT5 is because I had a couple of criteria that I needed met. So I needed something I can use for crawlers. I needed something that I can use for my drift cars. I needed something that I could use for my drag racers. So I also wanted built-in gyro with gyro control, and I wanted to run light systems. And of course, I would need more than 4 channels, minimum 4 channels, which this has 6. So we'll go through the line here a little bit and show you what is replacing what, and I'll show you why I chose this radio. Main reason is, for example, we'll start off with the one that I have the most models on right now. I have 13 models on this, and it has served me well. I've had no issues with it, other than it has a couple of range issues. So that was a big thing. That was one of the criteria as well. I would get about 80 yards before I start getting really choppy signal. This is rated for about 300 yards. At 300 yards, you wouldn't even be able to see your car. So that far exceeds what I need. So with that being said, this holds 20 models. That I don't have more than 20 cars, so that's going to be perfect for me. I don't ever think I'll exceed 20. I already don't use half of the ones that I have now, so I think 20 is going to be just fine. So that replaces this one. With the Traxxas, I have a couple crawlers on this. I have a TRX4 Bronco, and I have a TRX6 that has the locking diffs. I have lights and all that, so that's where these extra channel switches work, and to unlock the diffs. So this is a 6-channel, so I can now eliminate this one. Old clunky Spectrum hard plastic cheapo ones, I really don't like these. I've always had trouble with the trims on these. They're super clunky and just, I don't know, they just don't feel very accurate. As far as range, they do have great range, but again, I don't really like these too much, and it's just cheap all over. So it replaces this one. Tactic is coming with more and more axial RTRs. And some other vehicles, I think just Horizon Hobby in general, that's what they're kind of putting out. It's a great RTR radio. I've done a video on one of these before, and it's pretty good, especially for a receiver that doesn't have an antenna on it. It's actually really good, and you do have a 3rd channel on this as well that you can control. So these are nice. I don't know about the range. I really don't take crawlers out of range. I mean, you really shouldn't have to, but overall, again, we're replacing another radio system that I don't need anymore. The other Traxxas radio that this is replacing is the ones with TSM. I don't need the TSM because all of the receivers have built-in gyros, so I can actually control it from the remote. I can turn it off if I don't need it. If I'm using it for my no-prep cars, I can disable it because you don't need vehicle assistance for that. Of course, that's against the rules. Obviously, I'm going to run it sometimes, but I have the option now. With this, has the TSM. They're pretty expensive. If I don't remember correctly, I'll put up a screenshot here for you guys, but I want to say they run about maybe 30 to 40 bucks for the receiver, and then maybe another $30 for this. And you have to remember, this is a sub $100 radio, 70 bucks shipped. Next one that it's replacing is my MST. I'm using this on my drift cars. Not a bad radio either. It's a pretty decent RTR. It actually comes with a lot of the Sun Racing newer stuff, like the F450, which I did a review on, and it came with the same exact remote, and this remote is 8 years old. So it's kind of interesting that they include a remote that old, but it just goes to show you that it still works in today's technology, But, I have 2 drift cars, replacing the 2 drift cars. Now, I'm not going to go through that stack because a lot of these are repeats, but they're all RTR radios. And then the final one that I'm replacing is with my newest car, the Arma Felony. Fantastic car. I love the AVC on it. So again, I need that gyro. Perfect. It comes with the receiver. I'll be able to replace the AVC on there, and I can get rid of this radio. So the biggest problem I've had with this is actually getting it to connect to the car initially. And comment down below if you've had the similar situation. I have seen on threads and different Facebook groups that is a common issue with these. So what I was having to do every single time is I have to unscrew the receiver box, bind this remote to, the receiver to the remote, and I had to do that every single time I started it up, and I didn't understand why. Accuracy is good. I like that it gives you a battery readout. You know, of course, it's the newest technology with the smart technology. If you have all the sensors and all that, so I mean, you know, it does say, you know, the ABC, and it does work. It works great on the Felony. No issues with the ABC itself. It's just getting the initial communication. And I have two of these, and they both do the same thing. So I find it hard to believe that two cars that I got at different points are, you know, giving me the same issue. So it's obviously not on my end. It's something with the electronics themselves. Maybe it's interference. Which, speaking of interference, took the Felony out to a drag race on one of the drag nights, and turns out some of them are on the same channel. So my car was sitting perfectly still. Somebody punched their car and mine took off with theirs. Freaked me out. Totally freaked me out. And for that's what really kind of finally jump started me to start really looking. Another one of my criteria was I don't take care of my stuff, so I don't want to spend that much on a radio because I know I'm going to throw it on the ground. It's going to get scratched up, and I wanted something that I don't feel that bad about scratching up. So with this, I mean, the radio looks great. I love the looks of it. It's very sleek. I like the black. I like the LCD panel. It's great. I'm not going to feel bad if this falls off the trunk of my car. Versus a Futaba 4PM that costs $230. We'll do a quick little unboxing here and see what we get. I got this from Amazon, shipped Prime 2-day shipping. You get a nice little quick start guide, really nice. Oh, you get an additional grip. And that's something that came with my other one, my GT3C. Here is the radio, and just first looks, actually looks really nice. It already feels pretty good in the hand. It feels very, very sturdy. Even though it has these holes here, I don't feel like I can bend that plastic. The trigger feels nice and smooth. Got a nice spring action to it. The buttons feel very responsive. Very nice. Look at that LCD panel. Got the gloss black on top. That looks pretty good to me. This wheel is nice and soft. It's got a really good feel. I always forget how good the foam feels on the brand new transmitters. It's got a nice spring action to it. I like the rotation. Feels like it's got enough. Got a flip up antenna here. Again, I like the look of it. It almost looks like a rhino horn. That's pretty cool. Just for that extra range. And this came with one receiver to start with, and then I ordered a whole bunch more. So if you look on Amazon, they are $25.99 per receiver. I went with a deal that they had where if you get two for $45.99, so you save a couple bucks by buying the deuce instead of just buying them single by singles. I actually cleaned out the seller and I bought all of the stock that he had, and I still need a few more. I'll wait for them to come back in stock, and then I'll take care of those. One of the great things about this is I'm not going to have to spend a fortune on batteries anymore. This only takes 4 AA's, which I've already put inside. And I don't have to keep extras for 14, 16, whatever, however many remotes I have. So the compatible one on here is the FSBS6, but there's also so many that are compatible that are included in the manual. So it tells you which receivers you can use. But I want these because I can get 6 channels out of it, so why not? Every receiver that you order comes with just a receiver and a bind plug, and pretty straightforward process to get it to bind to the radio. Once it's bound, you can just put it in your car. They're pretty small and compact, so they should fit in every single one of my vehicles. Well, the easy part is done. Here comes the hard part. Well, I'm not going to bore you with the install part because I have so many of these to install on the trucks. I am going to do separate videos as far as the installation, because I'm going to show you how it worked for the crawler, how it worked for my drift car, how it works for my no prep car. I have a lot of variety builds, so that's the one good thing, and I'm really excited because I finally have an ecosystem. You know, everything's going to run off this one radio. Don't have to worry about ever forgetting it, losing it, breaking it, you know, whatever. So like I have a really bad habit of taking cars with me, but then I leave the remotes at home, and you know, again, hopefully if we just run one remote, I should be all right. But I'm gonna do follow-ups with this. I'm all for this. I'm hoping for the best on these. I've read nothing but good reviews on these. I've seen good reviews on these, and you know, like I said, it checked all of my criteria that I was looking for, and then some. You know, for the price, I think I spent $400 or just under that for everything, all the receivers and the remote, which is a worthwhile investment because I am going to resell all the old remotes that I have, and I should recoup pretty close to what I've put into this, if not At the worst case, I might owe 40 or 50 bucks, which I'm okay with, you know, being in the red 50 bucks, and I get, and you know, all of my cars on one remote. So thanks so much for watching, guys. As always, if you have any questions, leave them down below. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and we see you on the next one. Thanks for watching Flash Hobbies.